What if you scribbled an idea on a napkin and it became a limitless scale tech company poised for exit? What if you had a vision of eliminating an inefficiency in your community, industry, or the world, and you had a chance to co-found a company and bring this product or service to the market? What if we could positively impact every social issue with tech? 10x Tech Tank is the #1 daily show for everything tech entrepreneurship. And whether you are technical or not, you will learn, be inspired, and witness transformation in the making. People will share tech ideas on napkins. People will showcase minimum viable tech products. People will explain their cash-flowing tech companies looking for acceleration. And if the person is right, and their idea is right, and the market is right, and the business model is right, then there's a great chance you will witness some serious magic. We are on a mission to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. And we invite you to make history with us. Together, we achieve more.
Welcome to 10x Tech Tank. I am Jared Yellin here with
Eric Nowoslawki. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm a whole new set today.
A set and a guest.
A set and a guest. We've got my man Josh here.
Hi,
Josh,
guys.
please introduce yourself. We got a wonderful audience here. People tune in literally from around the world to hear entrepreneurs share their dreams. They share their visions, and their visions are tech ideas, as you know. Sometimes they're written on a piece of paper like this. Other times they're minimum viable tech products, and other times they're cash flowing tech companies. We're having Josh here because he has a track record in tech. He's an extraordinary serial entrepreneur with a vision. I just want to have you speak into some of the things that you've accomplished. So please take it away.
Yeah, so I've really been in interactive multimedia for many years. Started my first video production company when I was 19 years old, doing stuff for like Nike, Samsung, AT&T. Done a lot of startups, won a couple awards, and we are now trying to innovate with a bunch of different augmented reality, virtual reality, and a bunch of mobile applications that are really, really designed to uplift humanity, elevate consciousness, and yeah.
I love it. This dude is all about impact too. So when he looks at, because he advises, he consults, he's entrenched in the startup tech community, and what he looks for are entrepreneurs that, yeah, they need to have a financially viable business. They need to also have a business that creates impact, creates some positive change in the world. And he doesn't just talk about it. Like, this is what he lives. So I'm excited for him to hear entrepreneurs pitch us, because what he's going to be looking for is, what's the impact? Like, what's the impact? Like, yeah, I love the idea. I love that the market's ready for it. I love there's a business model, but what's the impact? How is this going to make a positive difference in the world? If you're here for the first time, welcome. And thank you for joining us. We go live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And we do this for you. We do this for entrepreneurs from around the world. Entrepreneurs have these dreams, these ambitions, these desires, and they don't know where to go with them. They don't know where to go with them because of a lack of resources or know-how or trust or relationships. And we built this safe place for those entrepreneurs to share their visions and their ideas. And we do this for you so you can participate. We stand to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies over the next 10 years. And when you show up every night, Monday through Friday, and you are influencing our decision with regard to who we should say yes and who we should say no to, you're co-authoring that story. So thank you in advance, and please make sure that you stay engaged. Please make sure that as you hear these entrepreneurs share, then the comments below, you influence us. Tell us about the ones you love and why, and tell us about the ideas that you just stand against, politely, of course, and then explain why. You will absolutely influence us. So with that, let's see who's our first entrepreneur in the tank.
What if you knew about Instagram or Slack or Clubhouse when the company was raising a friends and family round at $10,000 per person? What if you were able to see all the tech companies that Grant Cardone and Jared Yellin have co-founded in one place and invest in any that excite you? What if you were able to expand your portfolio into early stage tech companies with extraordinary founders and teams? 10x Tech Angels is the most unique investment club that you will ever find, because not only will you see some of the most innovative tech companies at the lowest valuations ever, but you will also be educated on how to pick tech winners, meet other members of our community, and experience the excitement associated with taking an early idea to exit. Become one of the founding members of 10x Tech Angels for an exclusive offer with some extraordinary bonuses. To learn more, visit 10xtechangels.com.
All right, we are back from commercial break with another entrepreneur in the tank. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Charles Gallagher, and I'm calling from Saskatoon in Canada.
Awesome. Hey, go for it. Go for it.
Anytime people are from Canada, we always say A.
No, not we.
Well, okay, I say A. Yeah,
So when he says that, are you offended at all?
Not at all.
yeah, there we go.
All right, at least you're not being offended.
No one's ever said it's
sometimes
offended.
you're a little socially inappropriate. So I just didn't know if it's really one of those times.
Yeah, that's gonna
Okay.
be you.
All right. So listen, let's get back into your pitch. I don't want Eric to distract you with his A. So you got 5 minutes. Please share your big tech idea. We're excited to hear it.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate having me on. I'm going to share my screen now. Hopefully you guys can see it okay.
You can see it. Yep.
Sorry, I just got to move this out of the way. I'm sorry.
You're doing great.
Oh, that's not going to work. Do it this way. All right. The big idea is an organic and paid social media coaching app for local small, medium businesses that will help millions implement proper, tailored, organic, and paid social media strategies within their business that actually get the business new conversations, relationships, leads, and of course, sales. The problem I see out there is many, if not most, local, small, medium-sized businesses are not integrating organic and paid social media into their business enough or properly. This results in missed opportunities. I believe if they don't use social media, they're in trouble. We see closers all the time, and many, when I look it up after they've closed, a lot of them have a bad social presence. And the reasons I believe is business owners are just too busy. They're busy operating their business. They just don't have time to do social. There's too many options. There's lots of coaches and agencies and training and tools and outsourcing, but it's so overwhelming. It's also hard to implement. Even if you did take some of that training, the next day you're trying to implement it, it makes it really hard. It takes time to absorb and integrate. Social media is always changing and they can't keep up, and they keep getting sold to. So a lot of them are just jaded, and they're slow to adopt any new technologies that come up like TikTok. And most services don't get to know the business. These services don't learn about the actual business and the history. They don't do any deep audits. I had a client not long ago that had 3 Google listings, and they had no clue they had 3 Google listings. They don't know the products or services the business actually offers, and they don't know the people or the positions. And honestly, a lot of the services just aren't that good. Now, my style of coaching is a solution, but it's expensive. It can take time for us to build the base for the client and get things all organized. It's constant. We're always doing reminders, and we're training, we're checking in, we're helping, we're explaining concepts, like often on the weekends, like, did you reply to that comment yet? It's really hard to scale. We need to help more businesses. We need coaching that is affordable, relevant, and adaptable. Coachly is the solution. The Coachly app will be the organic and paid social media coach. And these next 4 points are something that I feel makes us really stand out. We get to know them. The business is onboarded in the app with a full questionnaire, learning about their business, their online presence, and their social presence. We then use the information, and we always keep it relevant to the business and continue to ask questions over time. So we use the machine learning. We have a gamification process where we can create value for some kind of community that they're involved in. We have graduation levels and rewards, and we can show other business progresses as well. And one of the big parts is we give them post ideas based on the information we've gathered. And we can also offer posting direct to the platform, so the app is adaptable. And we could add a repurposing element too to all platforms. That's a bit more technology, but maybe that can be added later. The coaching will involve training, daily, digestible, and brief. Lots of follow-up. The app can check in, do reminders, do task notifications. We can even have group coaching calls as another level, celebrate successes, and show us. They can even show us content and guide us, and we can help guide them with their content. It can be paced. It's adaptable for the business. Why me? I've been in local business since I was a teenager. I graduated from business school. I've managed restaurants, a security business, and retail. In fact, the retail operation had 15 stores in Western Canada, and I actually owned a few of them as well. I've been a local social media coach for over 8 years. I live this every single day. How we make money. It's free to download. There's a questionnaire included. I think the basic subscription could be under $100 a month for basic coaching. The premium subscription could offer personal one-to-one add-on coaching, monthly calls. They can message us. They can submit content for review. We can obviously have advanced training bundles that once they do the bit more training, that can also be integrated into the app and into the machine learning, so it's relative to them. We could offer agency service, like just some small ones, like, or not small ones, but I mean, we could do like ads management and video editing. Some of the gamification rewards, we could get into business partnerships as well. And obviously we can have advertising at some point. We can do rewarded ads or we could do native ads. The get to market strategy is industry associations, chambers of commerce. We could do rewards for sharing. So that can be part of the gamification. So if the business shares it with other businesses, we could obviously use social media and social ads. And of course, let's pick up the phone and call people. Why I believe the 10X Incubator can help. You have the technology background that I don't, and also the funds. The Coachly app solution, coaching works. I do it every day. It's hard to scale. It's for the business and it's affordable. Businesses deserve a chance to learn and implement on their terms and pace. Let's just not sell them yet another service. Let's give them finally a coaching solution so they can continue to operate their business. And I'm saying no more closures. And that's it.
Oh, excellent.
Awesome.
Sorry.
So a number of questions. Great
Sure,
presentation.
fire away.
Much, and I love your relevancy with this too. So you were talking about you're going to give them ideas to post, right? You're going to give the small business owner ideas, which I think is the key to everything. That if a business owner was given something to provide them with like intellectual ammunition and motivation to just create the content, they have a greater chance of creating it. Is this going to be a generic thing though? Or are you going to go industry by industry and start giving ideas to chiropractors and veterinarians and hairstylists and real estate professionals? So speak into that element. How do you do that at scale and across industry?
Sure. What I'd like to see is the app, once we get all the information from the business. So let's say they're a vet in my hometown and they specialize in dogs and cats. Well, the app will hear that information and they might say, hey, Susan that works in the back as a vet tech, go take a picture of her now talking about the dog you had in this morning. So it'll be very specific to the
How's the app going
business.
to know that? How's the app going to get to know that amount of information to provide that recommendation?
Right. So the first step would be that questionnaire that they answer a whole bunch of questions about their business. So they can say specifically, we have this.
Fill out the questionnaire.
Pardon me?
How long do you think the onboarding process will take?
That's a great question. I'm not 100% sure how long it might take them because obviously if the whole problem is time we talked about, right? So we don't want to overwhelm them with like 5 hours of questions. But I think I can spend about 15, 20 minutes, half an hour with my clients and get them to tell me enough information about their business to get started. And the app can continue to ask questions over time once they see that the business is actually using the app effectively.
Go for it.
Charles, really interesting presentation. So have you actually ran a questionnaire or a survey yet with just getting a sample size of like what people's needs are and what categories, so you could start thinking about the artificial intelligence that's actually needed to be able to cater to them? And my other question is the coach you, or is it you and other coaches, or is it a virtual coach?
The first question is every time I onboard a client, I have a questionnaire that I ask them. So I haven't done it for the app per se, but I do. That's how I run my business. I ask questions all the time. So I get very granular with them. So I understand that I'm being a business owner. I know that ask the right questions, like your best margin product, your worst product, and what we can focus on.
But from a qualitative standpoint, you haven't yet?
In terms of like using for the app, no, but I asked like the questions that I would input into the app to ask would be the ones that I use every day. And then, yes, it would be obviously there would be a virtual coach, or the app would handle it, or the machine learning would handle it, but it would require some input from coaches like me. And if I didn't have a particular, well, the thing is, it doesn't really matter what the business is, because we all have the same problems as a business. We have staff, we have things that we're doing, especially for social media. A lot of businesses don't realize you can just tell us what's going on around your business. So you don't really have to go too deep. And I think the virtual part could be a very strong part of the program. And I mean, of course, there'd have to be a coach like me there, or other coaches potentially over time, especially if we add the premium subscription where they could get one-on-one coaching.
So physical people answering questions in the app combined with AI, or?
Yes, I think, and minimum viable product could be without the one-on-one coaching, that over time we can build it in. We try to scale that, because the whole point is scaling it so we can reach millions of businesses, and we couldn't do it if we had a million coaches. We would need very few of the in-person coaches.
What often happens with social media, ads and organic content and all those things is the best things that work are the pattern interruptions and standing out and being unique. At scale, when everybody is doing this, how do you keep teaching people things that are going to continue to work if everyone's doing the same thing?
That's right. Why I do that every day with my businesses, because I get to know them really well, we can really focus on what we think, or the app could figure out what it is in their business that makes them stand out. So one of the big questions I have is, that's great that you're a vet and you have 20 years experience, but what really makes you stand out? So we focus a lot of that when we're running our Facebook ads, for example. Let's focus really deeply on what it is that you specialize in and what you're good at. And that's how we run the ad. So I believe the app could do that as well.
How much time do you expect a business to spend inside of the coaching aspect on a weekly basis?
Not long at the start, because again, they're jaded. When I'm out there every day, it takes some time to learn. So I think the start would be get their information and just start getting them to post, get them to be involved with their social platforms. So they're not posting once a week and ignoring customers when they reply. So it would be basically go post this and check up with them to make sure they're checking their comments and checking their replies to make sure that they're on top of their game. And over time, when we see that business is doing well, we can sort of advance them down the next path, or doing more tasks.
So one of my tech companies is a marketing software company that automates much of what you're speaking into. And when I first launched, I had this grandiose vision of onboarding people through a survey/questionnaire that was going to learn everything about them and more. And then I was going to take them and put them in these accountability groups. They could all be using the same technology in these real life accountability groups around the world. And what was happening was I was asking for so much information on the front end that literally nobody finished the survey. It turned them off from the actual technology, because they're like, if I need to do that much work to even try to use this thing, I don't even know if I want to use this thing, this isn't for me. And we made a radical change very quickly. Now, that obviously sounds obvious today. My fear is the value of what you can bring to that business owner is going to be based on the amount of information you can collect from them. And if you attempt to do a 15 to 20 minute intake experience, when it's not you, there's a difference between you doing it and somebody's paying you $1,000 a month. They're like, oh yeah, Charles needs to get to know me so he can then do these things for me. But at under $100 a month, or even free, to have somebody spend 15 to 20 minutes of their time to put information in when they have no idea what that will produce, I think it's a huge ask. Let's see what our audience thinks. What are your thoughts on Charles' idea? An online, limitless scale coaching platform for small business owners who are really struggling in the space of social. Should we move forward with due diligence? What are your thoughts on it?
So Charles, I think you've identified a problem really well. We do these calls in the morning called Light Your Flame calls. And a lot of the times the founders in the incubator, they're always asking me, what kind of content should I be posting? How should I be posting it? How do I engage with people? And all these questions. So you've definitely clearly identified a problem. What I would challenge you to do, though, is pick one thing to really focus down on instead of this monstrosity of everything that has to do with social, and focus on one widget. AnswerThePublic.com, all they do is they pull SEO keywords of things that people are looking up on Google and turns them into video ideas for creators. So it's a really simple business model, and they're making millions of dollars a year doing that. And so I would just focus on that one thing that you could help business owners out repeatedly, and focus on that. This solution is what you'll build 3 years from now. Focus on the one that you'll build today.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would love to see you present something to the tech tank that really says, hey, here's the demand for this. Here's the community that I've already generated in, whether it could be a Facebook group, but bring to us something that says, hey, these people need my help. And an app and a piece of technology is the missing piece to help them at scale. Because really what we see here is you're looking to replicate yourself and make the biggest impact possible to as many people as possible. So I'm a no.
Yeah. So for me, one of the biggest concerns I have with anything that's to do with selling information, which is in theory what this is that there's no utility to it. And utility is defined as I can't live without. You as a social media coach that's doing this with the business, that's helping them craft their content, design their images, scheduling their posts, you become an I can't live without. When you start working with that business, especially when they start seeing results, they're like, I can't imagine doing this for myself. That's going to be very difficult, in my opinion, to do with an app like this. But the way that you scale yourself is by setting up an army of VAs. where you create a formula and a blueprint, and this is the model. And then these small business owners are able to have access to like Charles Minion. So it's not like at your price point, which is $3,000 to $4,000 a month, but for $300 to $500 a month, you have an army of VAs that are able to offer that level of service. Your entry point could be the social media coach, where you're just providing almost like just free tips and tricks with the goal of upselling them to having a VA. I'm a no, because I just don't see that this is the solution to the problem. I know there's a problem. My stepfather's a 69-year-old chiropractor. This is a problem he faces. This was the thesis I had with my original tech company, Synduit, was to solve that problem. I think I solved a piece of it. I think you definitely solved the next piece of it, but not with what you presented today. So for that reason, I'm out, but I appreciate you coming to the tank. All right, after a commercial break, we'll have another entrepreneur in the tank.
Blueprinted is the place where you can go in and put those steps in there and then be able to impact the world and monetize on that by having a marketplace in the community that we're developing for you in Blueprinted.
So we've created the app for any expert to be able to come in and put their steps, their exact steps to success in our app and put it on a marketplace where people can go and buy their steps to any success.
We are back from commercial break with another entrepreneur in the tank. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is DeQuarius Dunson. I'm calling from Jackson, Mississippi.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. We are excited to hear your big tech idea. You got 5 minutes. Please take it away.
Great. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys.
Yep, please do. I love writing down Mississippi. It's a fun word. It's a fun word.
All right. Can you see my screen? Okay. All right. So we are road rescuers, and we are on demand roadside assistance and automotive service platform. And so I'm going to go ahead and start my my PowerPoint and a brief introduction video.
Go for it. I just had this problem the other day. Very cool.
All right. So road rescuers, we're looking to innovate the roadside and mobile auto services industry by providing an on-demand platform solution to create a better end user and provider experience. So what's the current problem? The current roadside assistance model used by the largest motor club networks, it provides a very poor user experience and long wait times. And usually that's attributed by the low contracted provider pay and inefficient technology. So basically the formula that they're using now is unhappy customers plus unhappy providers equals a failing model. So what's the road rescue solutions? So we are utilizing geolocation technology to assist the customer with locating the nearest service provider. Our app technology will notify the nearest provider, creating a quicker response time for services and also increasing the service provider's profits. And so basically, I believe that I'm the right person for this idea, for this company. I have experience running a towing and roadside service as a contracted towing provider myself. I have worked with many of the motor clubs and insurance companies which currently offer roadside assistance services. So I understand why a lot of your roadside assistance providers do not make these calls their priority. So our economic model is basically we will charge a percentage of each service call that's completed on our mobile app by our service providers. Our average percentage will be about 25%. We will also sell in-app advertisements to automotive-related services and brands. Our in-app advertising will utilize geo-targeting technology, which will allow us to sell ads promo codes, and push notifications in every U.S. zip code. So the current roadside industry is a $21 billion industry. In 2021, the expected compound annual growth rate was 3.92% from 2020 to 2027, where it should reach about $30 billion. We project that with our economic model, that we could definitely do 9 figures once we release this to the national market. So our go-to-market strategy is to launch a provider pilot program in major U.S. cities. We're currently launching one in the Jackson, Mississippi area now. We're getting great response from our towing partners. We also would like to partner with automotive businesses and services to help market to users. We'll also be partnering with the state towing associations. We'll use the traditional marketing, referrals, and promo codes to reach our end users. And also we'll be partnering with insurance companies, auto manufacturers, and companies that utilize roadside assistance programs. So a few of our competitors that's using a similar model, one of them is Honk Technologies. The other one is Urgently. And you see that they're only providing a handful of services. And so we're going a lot wider with our services. And some of the benefits that we have is we utilize a real-time in-app tracking, which our competitors, usually you have to go to another system, or they're just giving you text ETAs or even verbal ETAs on when that provider will show up. In our app, you'll actually see that provider coming your way. The user experience, we have a great user experience. We have an app and a website, which you can request services. The average screen time, transition time in our app is only 5 screens. With Honk, you use about 10 screens. You can't set up an account, and every time you go in, you have to enter all your information in. So basically, we allow you to create an account with your vehicles. So anytime,
1 minute, you're doing a great job. 1 minute left.
Okay. So anytime that you need services, all that information is already there. So it makes it easy just to click 1 or 2 buttons and help is on the way. So why are you guys the perfect partners? Because you're J Money and E. So you guys can definitely assist me with funding and marketing strategies to help scale and sell this business. All right, so I'm gonna stop my screen share.
I'm a yes because
J Money.
You didn't even give a penny.
Yeah, you didn't even put the. I don't even like that nickname, but at least get it right.
Remember, you can't self-proclaim nickname. Should we get back into that?
And I didn't self-proclaim the nickname. You're self-proclaiming that.
Should we get back into that?
No, we don't need to get back into that. All right, so anyway,
great presentation.
Great presentation.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
My first question is, so immediately I was thinking like, well, I could do a lot of this with AAA, and then you didn't put AAA on the competition. Why do you not see AAA as competition?
Well, AAA is a membership-based roadside assistance motor club. And basically AAA's average user is about 55 years old. So we're targeting to the users who are looking for the on-demand right now services. AAA's current wait time, a lot of their wait time is usually the users that utilize AAA, they still end up calling a towing provider simply because the ETAs are so long.
That's all right. That's a fact.
Yeah. So this is a double-sided marketplace, right? So
right.
First get the towing providers on there, which is an addressable audience, and it's free to be on it. So hopefully that becomes easy. How do we build awareness though for those that need this service in real time? Like how do they even know that Road Rescuers exists?
Well, that's going to be the thing. Definitely, once we, of course, we have the chicken or the egg problem, but we're going after the providers because for the providers, they're already at a point where they're waiting for the next solution. So these guys are already in service. So we allow them to charge their rates for the services. So we're not trying to underbid them or lowball them as far as with their rates. As far as the customers, we're going to be guaranteeing that services, when they send out a request, that request is going to reach out to the nearest service provider. Then they have the transparency of picking the tow company that's within the closest proximity, and they can see transparent pricing.
Got it. Any other questions? It's very straightforward. So lack of questions is not a lack of interest.
Yeah, exactly. So
how
how many people do you need to bring onto the platform, do you think, for it to be viable? And when I say that, I'm not talking about like 1,000. You had a lot of service offerings on there. You had the tinting, the glass repair, maybe a little bit of body work, the towing company. Which one do you think is the first one that you need to get onto the platform and then you could expand to the rest of them? Because then it would turn into like a full Shakespearean play with all
right. Yeah, the first ones we're going after right now, we're targeting our towing and actual roadside assistance providers, because that's what the customers are familiar with, and that's where people are most frustrated. So we're going to go out after that market to be able to provide a more efficient solution to where they're not out there on the side of the road waiting all day.
Got it. Cool. Let's see what everybody else thinks. What are your thoughts of this idea? What are your thoughts of Road Rescuer? Do you have a use for this? I know I did recently, and this would have helped me immensely because I had to wait. And it was on New Year's Eve day, and I was like, oh, I just need to get somebody to come here and figure out what's wrong with my car all of a sudden. So, would you use this platform? Should we move forward with due diligence? What are your thoughts?
So I would be really interested to move forward into due diligence with this. I want to find out more about how we're going to attract these people, exactly what the user experience is going to feel like, maybe starting in one location so that we can kind of control the users a little bit better. But I think that this is something maybe we can even look at as like an insurance policy where people would pay a subscription for just to be a part of it so that they know they have that peace of mind in the back of their head.
Yeah, I'm a yes to listen, someone's going to do it, right? There's going to be a disruption in this industry. There's obviously other players. I would like us to go deeper into that, to not just recreate what they have, but find a way to make it exponentially different. I know nothing about it though. So that's what I'm going to lean on you for in due diligence, is to really show what makes this different. Like what makes this the disruption in the industry. And, but I'm a yes for you. I like you a lot. You're relevant. Like you're an expert on the subject at hand. So I'm a yes to move forward. Congratulations. And we appreciate you for coming to the tank. All right. After commercial break, we'll have another entrepreneur.
This is the great secret of my life. The thing that has made me is one word. Dude, this thing is so big. It's about the 10X movement.
The 10X movement had really improved my life dramatically.
Now I'm a millionaire because of it.
Our business was at $2 million. This year we're on projection to do $25 million.
Our revenue went up 29%.
We've already got our tickets for next year as well.
Before we even started, I could go home right now and I got my money's worth.
That's why I come to GrowthCon, and I'll always come to GrowthCon.
10X means a lot to me. 10X, like I told you, is just the beginning. 10 times more power to help those that need it the most. 10 times more power to motivate and inspire those out there. Give him a 10X!
With other people witnessing what's happening with us, is like chains are being broken from families everywhere.
I'm gonna tell you, 10X, it was a lifesaver, a life changer for me. And just because of what it's done for my family and what it's done for me.
And this is where people get stuck, and that's why we do the 10X Growth Conference, to get you out of comfort, to get you out of comparing yourself to somebody in Pakistan that has nothing. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. Welcome to your 10X Growth Conference.
And there we have it, another episode. So Josh, what are your thoughts? Got entrepreneurs from around the world pitching us. You could see like there's a little bit of nerves, right? They only have 5 minutes, which goes really quick, right? But they come and they deliver. What are your thoughts on just being in the tank and hearing these entrepreneurs share?
I think it's just so amazing that people come here with new ideas and new visions for the future of this world. How are we going to make the world a better place? They come here, they show up in their best selves, and it was just so fun being able to get to experience them and the impact that we could possibly make.
Yeah. So Eric, like we've now had, I don't even know, thousands and thousands of people come through, hundreds and hundreds pitch us on the show. And we always say we don't know what to expect, but now we have someone here as proof. Like we don't know what to expect, right? Like our first time hearing these entrepreneurs is your first time hearing these entrepreneurs. We're not part of the team that reviews the written submissions. We're just the team that's here to field them and to find out where are they and where do they want to go. Are they the right person with the right idea in the right market and also the right business model? And we're looking for that. We always want to say yes. And when we do say yes, what we're saying yes to is due diligence. This is what happens behind the scenes. We do a 60 to 90 minute due diligence session with all of our executives, and we go really deep. We go really deep into those 4 criteria: person, idea, market, and business model. We then have a team of 8 people review the recording and any collateral resources. And then we come together and we start playing what if scenarios. What if this and what if that? And what if this was our idea? What would we do it to bring it to market? And how would we build it? And then at the end of this, we ask each other questions. And then from there, we make a decision. And we hope that that decision is, yes, let's do this. And then we co-found a company. If it's not, we share insight as to why, with the hope and the desire that the entrepreneur takes our advice, does something with it, and then comes back and pitches us again. So why do I share that? I share that because you're here for a reason. And it's not just to watch the show. I share it so that you have the courage to be on the show with us. I share it because I know everybody has an idea. Everyone has that big idea. It just comes down to how serious you are about yourself and how serious you are about your ability and desire to produce impact. And if tonight is the night where you're that serious, I invite you right now. Head over to pitch10x.com, fill out the written application, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be in the tank with us. Share on your big tech idea for 5 minutes. So with that, we appreciate you. Thank you for your presence. Go over pitch10x.com, and we can't wait to see you soon. All right.
Which napkin will become the next exit? Which MVP will evolve into a unicorn? Which cash-flowing tech company will reach the next level? Our hope and desire is that it's yours. Your idea, your MVP, your cash-flowing tech company. Now is your time. Head over to 10xincubator.com and submit your idea so that you get on the tank and give us the chance to transform your napkin into an exit. That's 10xincubator.com. That's 10xincubator.com. Let's go.